Welcome back to Inside the Playbook. Today we're going to be covering the Quarterly Estimated Tax Calculator. This tool allows you to do real-time calculations for your clients and add it as an advisory initiative. That's what we do in our business. We do them for all of our advisory clients so they can have a real-time budget of how much they owe throughout the year. That way, by the end of the year, you're just filing a tax return and not battling with them about how much they owe. You've had those conversations quarterly with your clients. So let's start by going through this tool. And first you fill out the tax profile. You're going to hit the year. In this case, 2026 is the default. We're going to hit single, throw in 160,000 AGI, $30,000 federal tax for the prior year. And then we're going to hit quarter two. And this finishes the tax profile that quickly. Next, we can scroll down to the business profile. You can only choose one of the spouse if you're going to have married. So just to give you a heads up, this doesn't include both sides. Our future release will do that. But right now, this free tool that's available for everybody. So you can pick a taxpayer as the person who has the business and the spouse as the person who does not. So in this case, it's just single, so we can just do an S-Corp calculation. Let's just say they made $80,000 through 531. That means that it'll annualize that amount based on the automatic default. So it'll take that amount divided by 5, multiply it by 12, and annualize it as if their income is steady. Or you can do a manual entry to override that if you think and know something that obviously the system won't know. Then we can do our QBID inputs. We're going to drop in owner only. And we're going to say $100,000 salary. They max out pre-tax contributions. This weighs into QBID and the federal tax separately. It's why it's here as a separate line item. And then we're going to do $8,000 self-employed health insurance. And we're going to select a specified service or trade business. You can put other income in. So if the owner has a day job, you can enter it and say they make $50,000 at their day job. You can also add other annual household income. So you can go through and enter different things. If they don't have anything that'll require like long-term capital gains rates, you can also just do it as a group total. So in the case, we'll say $15,000. Then you can do standard itemized deductions. That's pretty self-explanatory. Deductions for AGI, you can also do different deductions for this as well if they qualify. A lot of this is hard-coded, but it gives you the ability to model the projection. We'll leave this as blank for now. Another important one is the federal taxes paid. I like to do this by category, and our team does this as well. So let's just say they do $10,000 of pay stub withholding, $5,000 quarterly payment. And then as you enter later quarters, obviously more quarters will open up for Q1, Q2, Q3. And it's going to generate this awesome report showing you where their year-end expected numbers are going to lie. Then you can take a look at their total income, adjusted gross income, federal taxable income, annual tax liabilities, tax credits, total tax, net tax due, the marginal effective rates. You can go down the entire profile, and then you can skip down to the quarterly summary. This is going to show us how much taxes they paid year to date. It's going to show us the safe harbor amount based on the prior year amount due, and it's going to show us the estimated tax based on current year for this quarter. So it'll take that total number and essentially in this case divide it by 2 so you can see the estimated tax due for that quarter based on the current year. And then it'll break down safe harbor amount that's due, remaining due for the prior year, the current year based on 90%, and the current year based on the full amount. And that way, what we do with our clients is we show them, some of them want to pay safe harbor minimum only, put the rest in high yield savings and earn. That's a great advisory initiative. And while others want to just pay the amount due, so we'll tell them the amounts of what they would need to pay. And that way we're budgeting all year for their estimated taxes, whether they pay it in or not. And then by the end of the year, again, filings are super simple and in making your compliance process really easy. Stay tuned for next week of Inside the Playbook, and we'll drop another feature of one of our resources or tools that we use in our advisory business.